I know that the internet loves cat videos. And I don't normally come live at this hour, so I don't know how it is going to perform for us. We are expecting a very, very cold, freezing storm tonight here in Michigan. And this girl came to us from just outside. She was a feral girl, and my 7-year-old cat whispered her, essentially. And she started pushing in our back door to get in bed with him at night. Which is not the story that I came here to share with you, but she is the biggest. She is not overweight. She is solid muscle. Biggest lover now. And she loves to stay outside all day. And she just comes in to sleep. And some days she stays up in the house all day. But I received a really brave and neat question today. And I thought I would share it with you. And Alex, I hope you don't mind me sharing this. I didn't have a time to go and crop this out. But Alex was going into that she has thought about doing social media, making videos, but she is a highly sensitive person. And how do I deal with that, right? You guys, I deleted all my very first viral videos in 2000, maybe 21, 22. I want to say 2021, because in 2022 we actually had monetization in the app. Because it was so mortifying, and it was videos of the children, and it was not what I expected, right? People on the internet are not kind, and you really have to have this tough skin. And I've heard coaches say, you don't have to have tough skin, and I understand that. You don't have to tolerate abuse. You get to decide what you're going to do. You can block them all. You can ignore them. You can respond. Every single brand and every single business is going to have its own unique signature growth code in what is for them. And this can change over time, right? So I was not ready to hold that capacity of responsibility of that many eyes on my brand when I was first getting started. I didn't even have a core offer, right? I didn't know what to talk about. I was licensed and certified and all this stuff, but I didn't have clients yet. I didn't have a lot of experience. And so it really took a lot of integration. A lot of it came down to what actually needed to recode within myself and what I needed to learn and implement and grow in before I could even receive that level. And something that a lot of people don't realize is that I actually have grown up always artistic. So from a very young age in elementary, I can't even remember how old I was, maybe 5. This cat is so funny. She's like sphinxing out her arms. Completely relaxed. I was in a CD, although it was like a cassette then, I think, but it was like an entire album, I guess, a children's album with a local artist and puppeteer. And we went to a recording studio and performed it for the school and all of these things. And I was selected for that. And from there, I did community plays every single summer, choir, and going into high school and college, I studied 3D sculpture, welding, stained glass, clay is particularly my favorite. And during the pandemic, I really started to feel a calling to get back into my artistry. And then I started feeling this sort of overwhelm of like cleaning up the paintbrushes and having the supplies and wanting more supplies, and where do we store the supplies, right? And about this time, I was really up leveling in my own consciousness and activating on an energetic level. And it dawned on me that I could create digital products. I could serve and create and implement in other ways without the paintbrushes and the canvases and the wood and the sanders, right? And the stain and the chalk paint and the wax. And I got rid of most of that stuff. And I really leaned in to changing my perspective. And it filled that void for me while it simultaneously removed that burden of feeling cluttered, right? And so for me, it became all about that balance and staying in that balance, staying in that flow state of creativity, but then also making sure that I'm pouring into each little area that I want to. Because for me, as a solo mom, I have a lot of hats, I have a lot of cups, and I absolutely love them, but they require different things of me. And often there's not a lot, this cat is so funny, there's not a lot that I can take off of the plate. And so being mindful of where am I putting that energy? I'm not putting that energy into making content for followers who my content isn't for. Putting energy into people who don't agree or don't align with what I'm teaching and what I'm doing. Because I don't need everyone to agree with me, right? I didn't come here to be agreeable. I came here to be a magnet to my soul mission and to serve the people who I am meant to serve. This is too funny. Christine, hello. So, I have really been called to this massive, expansive project, and then also learning where I need to surrender, where I can give more grace to myself, where I may be still carrying a limiting belief around abundance or wealth, and really identifying further subconscious blockages. Because here's the thing, at each level of success, at each level of integration, you're still going to face challenges. You are still going to, have situations come up where you're like, okay, what is this trying to show me? It's not all butterflies and rainbows. And I like to think that I do a really good job of balancing that message for you guys. And something that I'm learning as we move through this very first book as publisher and my co-collaborates. And I don't know who said this. I know I saved it, and I think it was over on the Clock app. That books, it was a psychic medium, and it was a very reputable one, and I can't remember who it was, but they asked her, do books have a soul? And immediately it resounded as a yes for me as a channel. And then the oracle also said, absolutely. And the light mastery is really just starting to take its shape. And the authors that we're calling in all have these very specific codes linked to the womb space and that identity and that relationship to the feminine, our sexual divinity, and also our money is going to be tapped in with that, because I believe that it is all connected, especially for women. Having a really, really strong ritual and spiritual philosophy for yourself. Number one, it does not need to be like everybody else's. Put this cat down. Right? You don't have to be agreeable. And if there's things that you're not ready to share, that's okay, right? I tell my clients, share integrations, share stories that are further away from you, right? You don't have to share your newest, freshest wound and integration in real time, right? Share from a place of deep knowing and certainty, without fear. That's something that we can definitely take a peek at, and it's coming up for so many people right now, Sarah. Okay, and what we're seeing right now is truly that the market is shifting once again. The strategies that a lot of people were using are not working now. Some people are scrambling because we're getting close to the holiday season, right? I closed an $800 sale from New Zealand today. Just a full body heck yes. I also had several, I think 3 people, reach out to me in the DMs asking about the book collaboration, right? Asking the details, what is the timeline, what is the investment, all of this stuff. All I did was put a couple of posts up, right? I am not chasing. I am attracting the souls that are meant for this book. And we're taking it from there. So I was talking to Jess Farrell, who is my partner in this project today in House of Indigo. And we were talking about this deep surrender and this trust, right? And really releasing that need that the ego has to control, and allowing the book to come forward as it is meant to be. And the same thing is going to go with building your brand and finding your groove, finding your unique signature growth code. With that identity shift that's going to come forward, right? It starts with a belief system, and then it starts to manifest within the matter. But you can't be operating out of fear. You can't be thinking, what are people going to think of me? What are people going to say? I have things flop all the time. My clients have things flop all the time. We just had 2 clients go viral this year. They both got shredded alive. Okay? They gained hundreds. One of them gained hundreds of followers. One of them gained thousands of followers. Nearly 10,000. They both reached 1 million plays. But the market was not celebrating them and saying, oh my goodness, that resonates so much, right? Majority of the comments were brutal. They were. And we can't control how people are going to respond to us. all we can do is use that for an opportunity to show people who we are. So in the way that we respond, in the way that we hold space for those who are celebrating us, who do understand it, even in the way that we hold space for the people who don't understand us, right? Not making constant clapback content. These sort of things, like really keeping your side of the energy field clean, right? And continuously tapping into that 0 point energy field that we all have the ability to do, right? Nobody makes you respond in a certain way. And so for me, it became this soul path challenge of how divinely can I show up? To what level of perfection can I obtain in my authority, in my integrity, in my authenticity, right? And from there, that's why I talk to you guys about there is no competition, right? It is nothing externally outside of ourselves. It's all you against you. Doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. You can run the market research backwards, forward, sideways, up, down. You can mirror their prices, messaging, all of it. But if you don't believe it, it's not going to make sense. The math isn't going to math, right? I'm going to hop off here. I'm going to go finish my dishes. I'm going to feed my teenager lunch. My kiddos are at a kids camp today. And so that just restarted for the season, and they go weekly every Tuesday. And so I get a mom break. If you have any kind of health club or organization or something near you where you can send the kiddos off, they're safe, they can have fun, but we can have that adult time, right? I took a shower late in the day. I'm going to throw some elastics in my mouth. I'm going to heat up some leftover soup, feed the teenager. It gets to be good. It gets to be amazing, but we've got to detach, right? $99 Black Friday workshop is coming up. Comment 99 if you would love a sales system. This is an emergency sales system, okay? If you are not making sales right now, or if you're making sales and you flopped last Black Friday and don't know what you did wrong, this workshop is going to be for you. We have also extended the launch date of Light Mastery. I do not have the details for that yet. We are celebrating one beautiful new author, which I'm going to share probably in the next couple of days with you, introduce you to her. And that's what's going on here. Message me your comments. I hope that you guys are having an amazing week. I hosted a really potent, about 23-minute training on virility, numbers, identity, inside of Work Your Light, evolution of your soul business. And then lastly, I have launched and started the launch page for the actual book, Light Mastery. So I have sent invites out to that. Please come and like that page, support, engage with the content. It is going to help our authors increase their visibility and their reach, getting these stories out there to as many of thousands, tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of souls that we can. I'm sending you so much love, and I will chat with you soon. Bye.